Good morning. On behalf of the Supplier Development Programme and all our Scottish Local Authority members, thank you for joining our 2020 Meet the Buyer North event, this year in an alternative format. I am Diane Beattie, and through my role as the Payments Manager for Moray Council, I also sit on the SDP board to represent the north of Scotland. Who would have thought when we pitched up in Inverness 2 years ago that this event would grow from the humble beginnings, with 26 buyer stands and 400 businesses coming through the door? The feedback from that event was we needed a bigger venue, so we moved to Aviemore, and the event grew to 35 stands and 560 businesses. And we would have been there today were it not for COVID-19 pandemic. Despite the unusual circumstances and the change in delivery format, this is on track to be the biggest ever North event, with more than 1,000 businesses registered to attend. But what is really important is we asked suppliers who attended the event in 2018, were they more likely to bid for public sector contracts after that event? And 62% said yes in 2018. That rose by a huge majority to 93% last year. I do hope that this trend will continue after today. Whilst this has been a difficult year for everyone, the public sector is eager to restart the conversation about future opportunities for local businesses, which is why I'm truly pleased that SDP has worked with partners to organise this North event online, through this amazing virtual portal, technology that is totally beyond me. I'm taking the small risk of sounding like a broken record by opening the event for the third year in a row. I agreed again, as I believe in it, and it's something I would not have said when I started working in public procurement many years ago. Meet the Buyer events have really changed. And why? Well, it's all about the connections we make at local level that break down the big wide world of public sector procurement. So much so that I do tend to over-engage and lose my voice by the end of day, which some would say is not a bad thing. Moray Council is genuinely excited to have a stand, as we want to spread the word that we are open for business, and we want to share our future contract opportunities with you. Just as important as we need to know what you have to say about what you can deliver, the innovative ideas you have, new solutions you want to make us aware of, what your plans are for sustainability or even climate change. Understanding how you intend to meet this new normal head-on with changes in your own business practices. We want to support you in the strides you're making and ideally translate this progress to up-and-coming procurement practices. Last year, almost 3,000 Scottish SMEs registered with the SDP Scotland, bringing the overall total to more than 16,000 SME suppliers. This is largely due to the fact that though SDP offers free general training across Scotland, which many of you will have participated in already, the small but perfectly formed team at SDP has worked their socks off to develop a more focused approach by aligning tender training to actual contract opportunities with us buyers. How do we know this is making a difference? Well, you've been telling us. 88% of suppliers attending core SDP training say they were more likely to bid for future public contracts as a direct result of the training they received. Following a series of training and early engagement sessions across the length and breadth of Scotland, this figure has now increased to 91% in February 2020. COVID-19 has certainly made our society and business community consider things differently, but the core focus of SDP remains the same: improving your bidding capability and making sure you are tender ready as suppliers. This is actually the power of SDP. A free expert service to upskill willing suppliers like you, which is flexible enough to adapt to the ever-changing requirements of public sector buyers locally, across Scotland, the rest of the UK, and even further afield. Locally in Moray Council, we moved to full membership of SDP last year and held our first face-to-face events. More than 80 suppliers attended the official launch in Forres in October last year. We asked those 80 suppliers to tell us what they wanted from SDP, and this resulted in 2 SDP face-to-face training events, which took place at the Youth Cafe in Elgin, which is a social enterprise venue. The first was Improving Your Bid Score, organised on the 16th of January 2020. According to the training feedback forms, 100% of the respondents were more likely to bid for public sector contracts, and 100% said they would recommend the training to other businesses. That set the bar pretty high for the second one, which happened a few weeks later. This time, it was on an intermediate level workshop on training procedures and the ESPD. I suspect that the more advanced nature of the content resulted in almost 2/3, 63%, saying they were more likely to bid for public sector contracts after the training. But yet again, 100% said they would recommend SDP training to other businesses. A fourth face-to-face training event was cancelled in March due to the restrictions surrounding COVID. The SDP quickly responded to this crisis and switched all their training to virtual offerings, and suppliers from Moray are now actively participating in SDP training via the webinars. I was delighted that 112 suppliers from 49 micro, small and medium unique businesses attended these 3 events. And we hope to build on that early success this year and into the future. I sat in both of these training courses and was very impressed at the quality of training. And indeed, I learned a lot. Looking at procurement from a seller's point of view is really interesting and something we buyers need to understand. And you'll have your chance today to add to that conversation. Last year, I also announced that there would be a new SDP website, and indeed it was launched in October 2019. I'm always amazed at what Gillian, Cameron and our small team can achieve. 2 big launches with the space of a week. It makes you wonder if they ever sleep. I'm a finance person who just happens to do procurement, so I can't help but share the successes of the new website by quoting some numbers. From April 19 to March 20, there was a total of 1,817 attendees at 120 supplier training events. Breaking this down further, SDP ran 76 face-to-face events with a total of 1,038 actual attendees from 889 unique businesses. SDP also ran 44 supplier webinars with a total number of 779 actual attendees from 711 unique businesses. Add all this together and you get an impressive 3,634 suppliers from 3,200 businesses engaging with SDP training and events, but we know we can do more. SDP also supported a number of partner events, from a Meet the Real Buyer event in Orkney Islands Council to training on the Scottish Government's supply chain cybersecurity tool to Argyll and Buttes Council Meet the Buyer Roadshow. Something I love about my job is the wide range of shopping we do in the public sector. This was never truer than when the SDP supported the Scottish Police Authority and the Crown Office and Populator Fiscal Service with a supplier training event for its framework for the uplift and transportation of deceased persons last December. While it might come across as something of an obscure piece of public procurement, it was actually an important piece of work to find suppliers able to transport deceased persons when a death occurs in the community. And the SDP provided free tender trading sessions for suppliers in Inverness, Perth and Glasgow. SDP took 35 bookings for the 3 events, which were attended by 22 suppliers. Engagement from these training sessions with suppliers allowed the buyer to look at the different issues with the call-off criteria, and I understand that the closing date for tenders is tomorrow. So good luck to all of the potential suppliers who are bidding, and we hope you'll let the SDP know if you're successful. The point I'm making is that there's something for everyone through the supplier development programme, whether it's this large-scale Northern Beat the Buyer event or expert training to help you become tender ready. We are committed to helping you bid better. We want to help you see for yourself that public procurement is just a transparent process that protects the public pound and gives all interested suppliers a fair and level playing field. But we do appreciate that suppliers need help. And you are perfectly positioned now to let SDP support you with your understanding and build your tendering skills. You can start today and visit the different virtual exhibitions, whether it's the local authorities' procurement teams that are engaging from their own corners of Scotland, the Scottish Government's different departments like construction team, or the public sector bodies like Scottish Environment Protection Agency, SEPA, and the Forth and Tay offshore and deep wind clusters, or procurement hubs like Scottish Procurement Alliance and Scotland Excel, or support from the Scottish Government's team on Supplier Journey, PCS and PCS Tender. I hope you'll take the opportunity to ask what frameworks and dynamic purchasing systems are in the plan for next year, and what support is available to you as a supplier. If you're waiting in a virtual queue, and I'm sorry, there's no getting around it, there will be queues at every Meet the Buyer event, I hope you do download the files available from the buyer you're visiting and read them before you connect. and file them away for future information. You can connect with other suppliers as well. And once you connect with anyone virtually, you'll be able to download all their contact details in one place at the top right-hand corner. So I hope you'll use the Meeting Hub to network with each other and chat about potential opportunities to partner up for coming tender opportunities. We don't see enough collaboration. A reminder that there's a help button on the top right-hand corner as well, so please use it if, like me, you have a particular aversion to IT. I would like to thank the Scottish Government for its support of Meet the Buyer North as a headline partner. I want to thank my public sector colleagues for participating and showing their commitment to open, connected and transparent procurement practices so soon after such a difficult time for public services. I would also like to thank you as suppliers for trying something new and engaging in this North event on this virtual portal. I hope you enjoy your day. I look forward to meeting you.